What's up, motivators? You're listening to the Trucker Podcast focused on helping you elevate your life behind the wheel. Find us at motomelife.com or follow us at motomelife, MOTOME Life.
From that, let's take a second to thank our fantastic sponsors of today's show, KC Optical 2. KC Optical 2 is a leader in treatment of the eye. They are independently owned optical shop offering the most advanced lens technology, wide range of eyeglass frames, and first-class service. If you're an over-the-road truck driver like me, you know how important high-quality glasses, both day and night vision, can be. KC Optical 2 is conveniently located off I-40 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And if you already know your prescription, you can browse their amazing selection, shopping glasses fully online. KCOptical2.com. KC Optical 2. Eyes love us. And I do. I love these eyes. Got my glasses right here. Brand new.
So let's move into today's episode. We have an incredible interview today with a fellow trucker who earned her master's degree over the road. She's going to share some of her awesome tips on how she did it. She goes from pre-planning and how she got good internet, because we all know the struggle of that, and much more. So there's a fair forewarning here. The audio is a little rough, but I edited it into the best of quality they could be. The information in this interview is too valuable, too beneficial not to share with you all, so I just had to throw it out there for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Stay motivated. Live motivated. All right. So Kendra, just go ahead and start telling us a little bit about yourself and a little bit of your veteran history and your trucking life.
Okay, so I joined the Marine Corps when I was 17 years old, and my MOS was 3531. I was a motor transport operator. And, so I did that for 5 years, and I joined the National Guard, but pretty much all that time was active duty time. So I ended up joining the Army. So in 2000, I joined the Army, and I ended up becoming an 88 Mike. So my entire career, I retired in 2017. My entire career, I've been a truck driver.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have been a civilian truck driver since I retired, and I was in school before I retired and continued on once I actually became a civilian.
Okay.
So I got my Bachelor's of Science in Religion when I was on active duty in 2011.
Okay.
On and off, I ended up I just graduated last Wednesday on the 12th.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. It took me 10 years to actually acquire the Master of Divinity degree. So.
Well, what kind of trucking are you doing as a civilian? Were you over the road or like regional?
So when I came out, when I retired, I was a company driver. I was driving regional, so I had like 25 states that I ran through. But now that I own my own company, I'm over the road. I go wherever the loads are, that's where I go. I could be in Pennsylvania one day, and 2 days later I'm in Texas.
Right. So you had to deal with the same like obscure routines and everything else that, you know, OTR or regular while you're attending college.
Yes, like early mornings, late nights. I mean, everything that any other trucker deals with, I have had to deal with in addition to schoolwork.
Wow. And so what made you go for that? What made you like, you know, what was the drive for you to accomplish that?
To get the degree?
Yeah.
So I had already started the degree when I was on active duty. I wanted to be a chaplain when I was active duty.
Oh,
But
okay.
then we got deployed and things just didn't work out while I was deployed. And my time was dwindling down. But because I sincerely felt I'm a Christian and I sincerely felt that God had called me to that type of ministry, I felt led to complete the degree. Plus, I had benefits to do it too. So, if I have money available to go to get a free education, why not?
Right.
And so, the intent was being on the road, it afforded me the opportunity to minister to all kinds of people, to be connected to just different ethnic backgrounds, to actually use my degree on the road. So it was basically a practical an arena of the practical application for my degree. So it kind of sort of worked hand in hand.
Ah, wow.
That's an incredible story. That's incredible.
It's really neat. I mean, can you tell us a little bit more about some struggles or strategies that you had to try to complete something like that? I know it's difficult over the road.
Yes. So
You were going online, right?
yes, I did it all online. However, I did have an internship that I had to do for 4 months.
Right.
Some days were easier than others. Some days I was just too exhausted from driving to even do homework. There were some days, depending on the schedule, of course, we have to take our 10 hours. But the study time wasn't always conducive to me actually getting good sleep. So I had to choose between getting good sleep, getting less sleep, homework done, or dedicating my time by taking
One moment.
later. So
We can't hear you right now. You're breaking up a little bit.
There we go. Now you're back.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so there were times when I had to choose between getting enough sleep, getting the homework done, and determining if I needed to leave later. So, like, sometimes I would have to, like, take an extra day down in order to accomplish. I could have just did it, but say I'm a perfectionist. So I'd rather get a bad grade. I'd rather get a good deduction off of a good grade than just turning any kind of work.
Right.
So it was just a matter of me just determining, trying to figure out which one of the three was more important.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm on the road, trying to sleep, and homework. Yeah, but it was part of the
We can't hear you. Oh no, I think we lost her. We think we lost you.
Tell me if you're back.
Can you see me?
Not yet.
No, you're frozen.
But I can hear you. Oh, there we are.
There we are.
You're frozen on my. There we go.
Okay, now we're back again.
We should be good now. That little area is always a tricky one, so we should be good now.
Cool.
That's part of driving, right? That's over the road stuff too.
Yeah, I think we all understand that.
So, if somebody else was seeking, their degree, let alone their master's online while over the road, what kind of tips? What would you tell them to do?
One of the first things that I would say is make sure that, for me, I had to do full-time coursework, so I couldn't just, my mind just couldn't be just one class. For some people, over the road, just in itself may be challenging, but they may work better by doing like a half full, quarter, or half full-time course load. If they do full-time, it may be too much. So my first tip would be them figuring out exactly how many classes they can manage with the type of running that they're doing. If they're able to be home every night, a full-time course load is very reasonable.
Right.
If they're regional, they can still do a full-time course load as long as their loads allow them a certain, if they're able to do more than 10 hours down, it will work for them. That was one of the things that I did learn, which is why there were times when I would have to take like an extra day down because I knew that I was burning myself out. Or I was sticking to the running schedule for my loads, but my homework was suffering. So, in essence, I found a balance where one of the three suffered, either sleep, loads, or schoolwork, but I was able to make it work. So, picking your course load is really going to be contingent on how you're running. In hindsight, if I had to do it again, I kind of sort of would have picked the different type of loads that I was pulling. I really enjoyed them, so I was a glutton for punishment, and I wouldn't give up the loads. I just, I would just take an extra day down when I needed to.
Right.
But in hindsight, if I was pulling the loads that I'm pulling now, I would have changed the course load that I had for it to work better for me. So that's unequivocally, that's the first thing. The second thing is making sure that you have a really good support system. The reason being is it's hard enough for us as truckers, because you guys run too. It's hard enough for us on the road itself. But sometimes there were days when it just seems like so much for me because it can be intense and it just seems like nothing's going right from the lows to the amount of sleep you need to get to just, getting the words on paper to get an assignment done, which was another thing. Having somebody that, my husband, thank God, he was there for me to just help talk me. He probably wanted to strangle me a couple of times. I'm sorry, baby, that you out there. But, it felt good to be able to, it wasn't that your support system can fix your situation because only you can come up with a solution. But knowing that somebody cares about the struggle of you having to try to become educated and make money at the same time, it makes a difference in how much more stamina you have to be successful running the road and doing well in school too.
Wow.
I bet that does. Yeah. Two.
Yeah, that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is make sure that you are taking care of yourself out there on the road. It can get intense. And if there's moments where you just feel like it's just too much, please communicate with your professors. If you need extra time, please communicate with your professors. There were times when I wasn't so fluent with my professors, and it ended up biting me in the butt, so I had to repeat a couple of classes because I cried. Military, you know how we can get sometimes. But I learned from that, and the more that I communicated, I found that it mitigated some of the stress of I didn't make this deadline, I'm gonna lose points. Sometimes it worked for me, sometimes it didn't. But it actually helps long term when I knew I needed assignments that made the difference between me getting a good grade or a bad grade.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, because I find myself sometimes feeling like guilty, like especially in the military and stuff. You don't like to ask for help, and you feel guilty when you do, or like that you're making excuses,
Exactly. I learned it took a lot for me, and as a Christian, I should be humble. But it was a matter of me in my mind. I can handle all this. I'm a soldier.
Right.
So I can, there's a plan in my head. I can handle all of this. When in reality, I couldn't. I had to reach out. I had to get grace to get extra time. And sometimes I just had to be okay that when I didn't, that I was going to suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
It's not always a pretty picture doing
No.
trucking and education, but it is gold. It's
It
very
is gold.
I have a question for you specifically, and I know multiple drivers over the road that are having this issue. But did you find an easy solution to internet access over the road?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. So, I had a yearly subscription to the Pallet and Flying J. I had a yearly subscription to them. I would use them, and now they have it. It's promotional, but and maybe it may just be the type of account that I have because I do own my truck, so I get fuel and I get points. So now they have a promotion where you can get 2 weeks of free internet.
Okay.
If you get, like, I think it's 75 gallons.
Uh-huh.
But I also, like, what I'm talking to you guys on now, I have a hotspot.
Okay.
And I also hotspot from my phone when I need to. So I had different resources to be able to use that. The best thing is if you have a plan, internet plan, and they allow you to get a hotspot, it's unlimited. I promise you, if you get a hotspot that's got like 2 gigs, it's not gonna work, especially if you do a lot of like in my classes, I had a lot of videos every single week, and I was doing 2 to 3 classes per term. So that's a lot of videos. It wouldn't have lasted. So between those 3 things, the palette, the Loves have it too.
Okay.
The Loves have their own internet system as well. A hotspot. I know T-Mobile has one. Like on my phone, I have T-Mobile. So on my phone is unlimited. I get 4G up to, I think it's 10 gigs, and then it goes down to 3G. So I always have unlimited there. But sometimes the 3G doesn't work towards
Hotspot.
the speed that I need when I'm watching the videos. So if you can find a service that allows truly unlimited, I have the hotspot that I actually have is off of AT&T Towers. It's unlimited, and I have no problems at all.
Really? We have a Verizon and then T-Mobile phone hotspots. But same thing, I had to call Verizon and upgrade from, 20 gigs to 32 because it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, and even 32 is kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like,
Right now, we're like, we're taking one class at a time, online, and these classes are they're complete every 5 weeks. So, and then we start a new class and a new class. So, and this is, and like to your point, your first point, knowing what you're capable of doing, that's something we had to really consider. And I appreciate that you said it first, because before you even invest into it, before you even just jump into it, that is something that you really have to consider.
Yes, and the fact that it's 5 weeks, and see, you guys have already done proper assessment of your workflow compared to how you run. Because if you're doing 5 weeks, that means what I do in 8 weeks, somewhere they take it 3 weeks worth of work and crowded it into your 5 weeks. So your workload is even more intense than what I would have been doing. So one class in that aspect, and maybe that's something that I should have said too, because I forgot that not all schools do 8 weeks, and that's what my term length was 8 weeks. So considering that you're doing 5 weeks, it is really important to be able to ensure that if it's shorter, that you still manage your course load according to the amount of work that's required per week.
Yeah. As a team, we're like, you know how it is. We're always moving, and and so we don't get that 10-hour stop time anywhere, and so to your second point, have to think about, like, okay, after we deliver this load, ask for a few more hours, ask for half a day or full day. Just depends on the projects that are due. So
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. I love everything that you're saying.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Being in a team, it does make it a little bit more challenging because they're expecting you to stay on the clock. Once your 10 is up, then they're expecting you that when your driver is done, if your job's pushing 11, you're only going to get one extra hour.
Yeah.
So they're expecting that you're going to pick right up at the 11th and 1 minute hour. So, yeah.
Okay, I did have a few other questions for you. Was there challenges that, like, in other goals, that had to take a step back? When you discuss your relationship with your husband, you speak very fondly. It's just your strongest support system. So that seemed like maybe that grew, but when it came to your spirituality, it kind of seems like that grew a little bit more, because that was your why, that was your purpose to do this. But like, did you have time to do other things, like participate in, like, I don't know, family things,
physical health?
Did you meet your financial goals? Things like that.
So, in the midst of the sleep, in the midst of the classes, in the midst of the loads, I attempted to work out. It didn't work. It wasn't going to work. I had an idea in my head that I would commit 2 to 3 days of schoolwork, and then the rest of the days I would commit to working out.
Mm-hmm.
That way I would have 1 day for each class to get that week's work done, and then the last 4 days I could work out. That had to go by the wayside. So now the only thing that I trying to manage my eating on the road. That didn't work out so well either. Which allowed me, but it forced me to rely more on my spirituality. And that's where my husband really came in at. He really helped me stay focused. Yeah, he deserves a vacation now. He deserves a vacation after all of this I've put him through. But I missed a lot of, I couldn't work out, and yes, I did miss a lot of functions, a lot of get-togethers. It was about priority.
Mm-hmm.
Would I do it again? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if that was a question, yeah, I would have answered it. Yeah, it's about making sacrifices. I mean, just the fact that how hard we run out here on the road, we're going to sacrifice anyway. So it's a matter of prioritizing really what you are willing to sacrifice long term.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you next. Do you really feel that if you weren't going to school, that these areas would have been sacrificed as well? Like, if you were honest, would you have fallen short on these other things and not have gotten your degree anyways? Or because you've done your degree, it kept you going towards something bigger, and maybe kept you from being, depressed, or, feeling less than, or things like that. I know that a lot of drivers out there, they get lonely, they get depressed, they feel less than, all they're doing is driving, and they miss out on family functions, and maybe they miss out on relationship things. Do you feel like working on this specific knowledge intellectual pillar kept you from being pushed into those sort of normal trucking issues?
So maybe it was just a fluke because of the degree that I was pursuing, which is
Yeah.
a Master Divinity
Yeah.
with a poverty and pastoral counseling. So I actually ended up, being my own counselor. I learned a lot about coping on the road, but again, your support system is important too. So you have to already have the commitment to yourself, what you're willing to sacrifice. If you have a self-regret, I guess you could say, about the decision that you made, that it's not okay that you're missing these functions, or it's not okay that you can't work out, you're self-sabotaging yourself from an educational point of view. So you have to sit down and determine what's going to be acceptable in your daily regime. And if that doesn't happen, is the backup plan going to be okay? So initially, when I came out, the first couple of weeks of my classes were good because, of course, it's light coursework. Working out works for me. It was okay. I spend a lot of time on the road. So, us being military, we're used to not really being at family functions and things like that. So, if I'm able to make it there in the realm of my load allows me to get there and my schoolwork is caught up, then I'll indulge. But I have to be okay that if I couldn't get there and I got there, but my homework was behind, my priority was to complete my homework.
Right.
And I had to make that decision. I had family mad with me, but to me, it was my priority that was important to do. So you have to determine that it's okay for whatever scenario. Some people, they have to have family functions, and that's fine for them too. But they have to be okay that if they're going to go to these family functions, are they going to put any extra work on the road to make sure that their homework is done prior to these functions? I found that after the second week, I could not work out. So if I was on the road when school started, like when the next set of classes started, I knew I only had 2 weeks to get some type of physical fitness in. I mean, of course, when you're sitting and waiting for to be loaded, you can do little things here and there. But the way that I work out, I'm a powerlifter bodybuilder. So for me, the way that I work out, it takes time to set myself up.
Right.
I can't do that when I'm in school full time after the second week. So I was okay with that, and I made it okay.
Okay. I like that. I really like that you said that it's a commitment to yourself to what is acceptable for you in your life, and being okay with that. I completely agree. You can't really move on or pursue anything without you feeling comfortable, because then you start to self destroy.
Yeah. Well, one thing about that is what you have determined in your mind doesn't pan out and you don't have a backup plan, everything will start to fall. Because you'll find that you're not going to want to run, you're not going to want to work out, you're not going to sleep right, and you're not going to do your homework. Everything's going to start falling.
Okay. Do you have another question?
One thing that I was fascinated about was, so we're Episcopalian, and we miss like attending worship and things like that. And I was interested to hear about how you were able to bring spirituality over the road, and if that was a huge, did you feel like you missed it, or did you feel like you were able to apply it just in a different way?
Well, because my degree is actually a divinity degree, I'm always surrounded. It's always surrounded. Like it's integrated. It's my lifestyle. It's not something that I do like eating, 3 times a day.
Right.
It is who I am. So I'm always looking for opportunities. I'm always looking for God to speak to me through His Word, through people. I'm always about His business. So sometimes I'll go different sermons, read sermon, because I'm like that corner preacher type chick. So it's good to read what other people are preaching about. I'm always in a state of learning. So I also have to be faded out here as well. I just take advantage of all the avenues that are out there on social media that allows me to stay connected outside of reading my word and listening to music. I listen to videos, look at videos. I talk to other Christian friends. I find ways to stay spiritually connected. And I have some husband that loves the Lord too.
Yeah.
He keeps me grounded and he keeps me checked. I'm putting him on the spot.
So was that a huge part of you being on the road also? I feel like there's a lot of drivers that don't exactly know what types of things to listen to over the road, and so everybody's just listening to either music, which can be fine, or like the bad news. But did you have any specific, like, were you using Audible, like Amazon, or different books and different podcasts and stuff were beneficial for you?
I'm really into YouTube. That's like my go-to thing. I really like short clips. Sometimes I'll set a playlist. Sometimes I have my YouTube set so that I'm not losing focus on the road. I just, click on one thing and it'll just play different videos in that genre. So like Paternity Court, I'm just watching Paternity Court after Paternity Court or Maury or sermons.
Yeah.
It'll be one pastor after another, or it's just Christian music. It's just one Christian song after the other. So it doesn't take me away from the road, but it also expands my mind. There's some things that I'm biased to that I would just listen to because I like them, but when it's on autoplay, it allows me to stay more focused on the road, but open myself up to different songs or different pastors that I've never heard before, or different messages that, pastors that I usually listen to, that they preach that I've never heard. So,
Okay.
It's just basically, everybody's different, but you're gonna want something because with what I watch on not really watch, but listen to on YouTube, before I know it, I've already crossed the state lines because I'm focused.
Right.
I do everything that I need to do. But whatever I'm listening to on YouTube is very entertaining. So you want something that's not going to be monotone in your ears.
Yeah. But it also helped you in your degree and your learning and stuff too, keeping you further your knowledge so that you knew you had different things to apply to your degree, I guess.
Yes, but one other thing that I actually found different things to pray about so that I could work on my prayer life. So not everything that I watched was uplifting. I hate sad things, but this is the world that we live in. So I found different things that I listened to. Of course, if you click on one thing, again, the playlist, it just auto-plays. I found that at the end of the day, before I'm laying down, I had things, people that I could pray about. So in that aspect, it actually helped me out.
That's cool. I like that.
I never even thought of that.
I didn't know better than that. It did assist in keeping me grounded.
Keeping you grounded.
Awesome.
Well, honestly, at first I just want to thank you for your entire service and retiring. That's a feat of its own. Congratulations. Let alone get a degree.
Thank you for your service too.
Oh, we were Motor T as well. I was actually Motor T 35. 30.
Yeah, 35, 31.
I was.
She
She's
was.
a mechanic.
I was 21, 35, 21.
You was a mechanic.
Yeah, yeah. I always tell her. I was fixing the truck she was breaking.
Oh, you married her? Oh my God. All right, man. Where was you stationed at?
We were reservists, so we got stationed. Well, I was attached to a Phoenix and in Tucson, and she was in Tucson
Just
most
Tucson.
of the time.
Yeah, bulk fuel company Alpha in Tucson, Arizona.
Awesome. Are you guys still serving?
No, not anymore. No.
Okay. Are you getting your benefits?
Yes.
We're working on it.
Well, I'm 100%. So,
Awesome. My dad, he did 21 years Army, and he's an aviation mechanic. So he's been on my butt to get all my benefit stuff taken care of. And
yes, that's important. So, for those that y'all share this with who are prior service, ensure that you apply for your benefits. Ensure that you do.
yes, ma'am.
We've earned them. We gave our bodies at 100% fully functional. So at any time that we get out, we are getting paid for the functionality that we lost.
That's right.
So it's important.
That's right. Well, any last advice for all of us truckers over the road trying to live? That's our mission with our business, is we're trying to get more knowledge and content out there about living a quality life over the road and figuring out how to do that in all areas of life, in intellectual and relationships and wellness. But
Spiritual.
yeah, spiritual life,
Finances.
it's just hard. It's it's a neglected industry, and we're trying to shine some light on it. So
It's a very neglected industry. However, each one teach one, each one teach one. And so it's not going to be a perfect, well-rounded picture for anybody. This industry can be very demanding, particularly for us as women. It becomes more demanding, but we can and we do find a balance with everything else that we want to incorporate into our lives in this industry. We may not be able to do them all at one time, but we can create a plan that allows us to be satisfied with how we implement them, the level that we implement them, and when we implement them.
yeah.
Because now that I'm done, now I'm going to go back to working out, and I'm working to try to get on the stage.
Awesome.
No, that's awesome. I'll have to keep following you. Is there a place I can follow you on Instagram or?
I'm only on Facebook. I don't gram, I don't snap, I don't tweet. Yeah.
Well,
Remember, I was in school, so I was very, very, very limited in extracurricular social media platforms, pretty much.
all right. Well, if I wanted to follow you and your journey in getting back on stage, how would I do that?
Just add me on Facebook. Whenever I do updates, you'll see them.
Oh, awesome. That sounds great.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
for your
ma'am.
time.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. Congratulations again. Your story is inspiring, and I think we both feel inspired to keep going on our bachelor's degree.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Let me know when you guys get ready to graduate.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We will.
All right.
Stay safe. Stay motivated.
Thank you.
I will. You do the same. You guys be safe out there.
Yes,
will.
ma'am. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.